All right, my dears. So I'm excited to be with you. I haven't had a good long practice in a while. I've been doing just little short hours. And I think that's so funny because the newest craze on YouTube is to do like 20-minute yoga. And I think 20-minute yoga, no, impossible. But I get it. Some yoga is better than no yoga at all. For me, I love an hour and a half because it gives us the time to drop in to some meditation, pranayama, and today maybe even some mudra and mantra. So I'm going to place our thumb and our first fingers together and extend the other three. And the pointer finger bows to the thumb. So this is Jnana mudra. And the pointer finger bowing to the thumb represents the God self or the capital S self. The pointer finger represents ego or small self, small s self. And then these other three fingers represent the gunas, which are the forces in all of life. Sattva, which represents balance, or the blossom of the flower. Rajas, which represents action or the stem of the flower. And tamas, which represents inertia or the seed. We'll turn our palms to face up on our lap. And this is the wisdom seal, Jnana mudra. We'll take a few breaths just to notice where our breath is this morning and what we're feeling before we change anything at all. And then perhaps feeling into our root, the parts of our body that are touching earth and that connect us to the element of earth in our own body, which is our bones, the form of our body, our joints, and in particular, our legs and hips, our lower body, that which keeps us connected to this earth. And as we acknowledge the element of earth in our body, we acknowledge the land we're on Whidbey Island, Coast Salish people on Whidbey, and Seattle, the Duwamish tribe. In Whidbey, we have the Tulalip and other tribes up here as well. We acknowledge that we're always in a relationship with earth, whether we know it or not. And when we bring our awareness to it, we can slow down. Know that every inhale is a gift from the trees and the phytoplankton in the oceans, providing us the oxygen we need. And in that sacred reciprocity, our exhale provides the carbon dioxide that the plants need to thrive. And from that root and our connection to this body and this 3D reality, we allow our awareness to climb all the way up the spine, slowly, vertebra by vertebra. To rest at the crown of the head or just above. And we can almost imagine light, like a cord, perhaps a golden cord or any color that you like, that extends up the spine, back of the neck, nice and long, and comes out of the crown of our head and all the way up into the universe, perhaps to our own unique star, and our connection to the divine and the God of our own understanding. And just an acknowledgement that there are many forces at play. Some are seen, some are unseen. And that we can open ourselves up to all sorts of information and learning, but also keep ourselves rooted and grounded for the work that we need to do in this world, in this reality. So for the next few moments, I invite you to feel your inhale come in your nose, down your throat, into your lungs, into your abdomen. And on the exhale, it draws up and back out your nose. And then we'll take this a step further to imagine that the inhale energy is coming in through the crown of the head, all the way down the spine to the root. And on the exhale, root all the way back up the spine to the crown. Inhale, crown down. Exhale, root up. We'll take about 5 more conscious breaths, inhaling crown down, exhaling root up. In the next few moments, we'll land our awareness right in the center of the chest. Equal distance from the front, the sternum, and the back, the spine. And we'll inhale and imagine energy coming in from the front and expanding the back. Exhale back to front, maybe the sternum lifts a little. Inhale front to back, shoulder blades expand. Exhale back to front, sternum lifts. And we'll stay with this a few more breaths. Begin to relax your jaw and your face. Imagine there's space between your eyelids and your eyeballs. Continue to follow your breath. We'll release our hands from Jnana Mudra and place them in Anjali Mudra at the heart. And bowing our head slightly to our heart. If you have a personal dedication for your practice, now is the time to make it. If you don't, that's fine. Maybe just a moment of silence or a moment of prayer. One Om to seal. Flutter the eyes open, keep them soft, interlace the fingers, reach the heels of the hands up, shoulders down. Big inhale here, and then lean a little to your left. Let's take about 5 breaths into the right side body, keeping that right shoulder from creeping up by the ear. Really stretch through the heels of the hands. And back to center on your next inhale. And the exhale will lean a little to the right and breathe into the left side body. Left shoulder down. Next inhale, come back to center and lift the heart. Draw the ribs and belly in and lean back a little. Shoulders still drawing down. They'll want to come up by your ears likely. And keep the heels and the hands really reaching up. And then when we release, we'll twist to the left. Inhale, center. And we'll twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. And palms return at the side. So we'll change the cross of the leg, drawing the other heel in. We'll twist again toward the left, but this time we'll bow over that left leg just a little and reach the right fingertips forward. Breathe into the right side body. And then slowly, maybe hand over hand, we'll come over to the right side and really stretch the left fingertips forward. And breathe into the left side body. And we'll come center and really stretch our hands forward and forward fold. We'll inhale, come back to center and come onto our backs. As we come onto our backs, we'll draw our knees in toward our chest. And then do a few circles one direction. A few circles the other direction. And then let's straighten our right leg on the floor. Keep the left knee bent and take it across the body. So maybe there's a pillow that you place underneath the left knee, or you could tuck your left toes behind your right knee, or a combo of both. And then this left arm is gonna, like a snow angel, make a movement that's as big as feels okay in your body. And then when you find a place that you can keep that left hand still and it feels like a good stretch on the left front of the shoulder, pause there and focus on drawing the belly in to support the low back. We'll slowly come back to center. Bend both knees and keep your feet down to the earth, and we'll just windshield wiper the legs a little bit side to side here. And then let's straighten that left leg, bend the right knee and come across the body so you can tuck the right foot into the back of the left knee if you like, or use any kind of bolster or pillow to prop that knee. And then the right arm will begin to make a snow angel type of shape. Notice if there's a place along the way, like there is for me, where there's a kind of a little hitch. And then maybe that's where you pause for a few breaths and focus on drawing the belly in to help lengthen the low back and support the low back. And then we'll slowly come back to center. Knees bent, feet flat. We'll windshield wiper the legs a little here. And then if you have a pillow handy, we'll place that between our knees, or a bolster or a block works. And we'll keep the knees bent, interlace the fingers behind your head, or you could have your arms like a cactus, which might be a little more strengthening. We'll draw the knees toward the right, about halfway. And then draw the knees toward your chest and then away from you. Toward your chest and away from you. Toward your chest and away from you. Squeeze toward your chest, away from you. One more. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale about halfway or less to the left, toward your chest and away from you. Toward your chest and away from you. Toward your chest, away from you. Toward your chest, squeeze the pillow, away from you. Toward and away. Come back to center. Let's straighten the legs up to the sky. If this gets too much, we can always bend the knees. Legs go slightly to the right, maybe less than half here. Squeeze toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you, toward and away. Inhale back to center. Exhale halfway or less to the left, toward you and away from you, toward and away, toward and away. One more, toward and away. Come back to center. Interlace the fingers behind your head. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up. And then lower the legs just a little. Squeeze and lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Now legs stay up, head goes halfway down. Lift. Inhale, halfway down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, halfway down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, halfway down. Exhale, lift. One more. Great. Head down, bend the knees. Let both knees come all the way to the right in a lying twist. You might stretch that left arm like a T shape or keep it like a cactus. Notice what feels useful. Can we take some real intentional breaths into the left ribs, both the back, the side, and the front? Great, and then back to center, maybe one knee at a time, and all the way over to the left, where we'll set our right arm maybe in that cactus or like a T shape, and just take a few moments to really intentionally breathe into the right ribs. Notice where they expand easily, or if there's spots that feel sticky or less available to movement. Great, my dears. And then we'll release the bolster, the pillow, whatever we're using. We'll windshield wiper the legs for just a few moments. And then make our way to hands and knees. And so here today, let's walk our wrists so that they touch and our fingers fan out to either side, sort of like a big starfish. And then really gently, not much movement at all, we'll do circles. Stretching our wrists. And then circles the other direction. And then the fingertips face you. So some of us aren't going to get our heels of our hands down here, and that's fine. Try to bring the shoulders away from the ears and maybe see if you could even have a slight little bend to your elbows. And we'll rock forward and back. And usually this one's pretty challenging for most of us because we do a lot of typing and things. And then bring the right back of the hand onto the earth and the fingertips face your knee, and we'll make a light fist and release, light fist and release. And then return that hand and change to the left back of the hand. Fingertips face your knees, light fists. Great. And then both hands come out in front. Inhale, cow shape. Exhale, cat. Stay for an inhale in cat. Exhale, cow. Twice more in this manner. And then the next time you're in table, come onto the right side. So we'll kickstand that right foot behind. You're on the right hand, right knee, and the left foot goes all the way to the back of the mat. Reach your left arm up, inhale. And then reach under your ribs, exhale. Feel that stretch across the ribs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach under. Twice more like this. And reach the arm up and see if you can lift the left leg. Right shoulder away from the ear. You might circle your left ankle. And then the other way. And then we're going to step this left foot all the way forward to the top of the mat for low lunge. So your back toes could be tucked or untucked, that's your choice. We'll rest the left forearm to the left thigh and reach the right hand for the left side of your head and begin to lean left. Slightly tuck your tail, see how that feels. You should really get into the right side waist there and maybe the low back, that quadratus lumborum muscle. It's what I'm feeling. Might be a different spot for you. And then if we start to send the hips more forward, probably feel the front of that right hip, the psoas. So be with what feels useful. For me, it feels more useful to be more upright and breathe into the side body. Slowly come back to center. And then, so this right foot is behind us. We're going to pivot that out to the left. So it's a modified warrior two. The right knee is down, left toes are facing forward. And then that left elbow goes to the left thigh. So modified side angle. You might even sneak the elbow to the inner thigh, place the left hand at the heart, and really reach those right fingertips over. And maybe here we join that first finger and thumb. Breathing, noticing the right side body. Great, we'll come slowly back up, slow and steady when we're opening the sides. And we'll come forward, again, pivoting our back toes. We're gonna straighten this left leg, so half splits or Ardha, half. Hanumanasana, you might walk the heel forward. Flex the toes toward the sky. I find it useful to send the hips back here and the heart forward versus go real low. So we're thinking cow shape to the back. And then maybe moving your weight to the left. Oh dear. 5 more breaths. And then let's see what happens. Your hands could be to blocks or to the earth if we walk both hands to the left of that left leg. And bow a little. Can you feel your hamstring, of course, your calf perhaps, but still that right side body. Breathe into the ribs. And then we'll come back to center. Might be slow. We're gonna bring that foot all the way back to hands and knees. Inhale into our cow shape. Exhale, cat. Stay for the inhale in cat. And exhale, cow. Twice more at your own pace. Next time you have a flat back tabletop, we'll come to the left side. So kickstand the left foot behind you, right toes go to the back of the mat. You have that kind of warrior 2 foot. Right arm reaches up, inhale here. Exhale, reach under your ribs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach under. One more. Then lift that arm and see if you can lift that right leg and maybe circle the right ankle. And then the other direction. Take a deep breath in. We're going to step that right foot all the way forward for low lunge. We're pivoting the back toes to point behind us. Toes can be tucked or untucked. That's your choice. Right hand might rest on the thigh or the forearm. Left arm reaches for the right side of the head. We lean to the right, breathe into the left ribs. We're slightly tucking the tail, and you can see if you send the hips forward, does that feel useful to your body? I find my body, it's more useful to stay back and focus on the side. But what's true for you? As we come back to center, my dears, we're going to pivot the back toes to the right. So it's a modified warrior 2. And then side angles. So we can really get a pretty deep stretch here. We might use the right elbow on the inner right thigh, palm to the heart. Extending the left arm long, maybe Jnana Mudra. And we'll come back to center and slowly frame that front foot. We'll start to come to Ardha Hanuman, so you might inch the heel forward. Flex the toes up toward the sky. I find I really have to wiggle my weight side to side here to find a good spot. And then it's less about moving your head toward your shin as it is about moving your heart toward your toe and your booty behind you. And then let's see what happens if we walk both hands either on blocks or fingertips to the right. Can we still feel this whole right leg, but also bring in awareness to the left ribs? And my dears, we'll come back to center and slowly hands and knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Toes tuck under, downward facing dog. You might pedal, you might sway. Shoulders away from the ears. Sitting bones high. You might wiggle your hips side to side. 5 breaths. Next, exhale, we'll walk or hop lightly to our hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise all the way up. And then side bend to the left. Take a deep breath into your right side. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Side bend to the right. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale, center, lift the heart. Exhale, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, send the hips forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank pose. Onto your right side for side plank, any leg variation. Inhale here. Plank to chaturanga, so you might have knees down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your next exhale, walk or hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank. Onto your left side for side plank. Any leg variation. Deep breath in. On the exhale, plank to chaturanga, knees could be down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. Stay for a deep breath in. And an exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend left. Stay for a breath. Inhale, center. Cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, send the heart up, belly draws in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank. Left side, side plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, plank to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Next exhale, walker hop top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up. Palms to the heart. Arms reach up, inhale. Fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank. Inhale, side plank on the right. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walker hop top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up. Mountain pose. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Inhale, side plank right. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg goes high. Foot steps forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, straighten the front leg, bow toward it. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Right arm lifts, inhale. Stay for an exhale. Stay for an inhale. And then place that back heel down for side angle. Spin the heart and the torso. Extend the left hand overhead. Maybe you take that mudra. Breathe. And then cartwheel that hand forward. Pivot your back toes. Straighten that right leg and maybe lift the toes. Think about lengthening here through the torso. Feel into that hamstring, maybe the calf. Look forward, inhale. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift. And bow again. Chair pose. Stand up mountain. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Utkatasana, chair pose. Uttanasana fold. Ardha Uttanasana halfway lift. Step back plank. Left side plank, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Down Dog. Left leg high. Foot steps forward. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend that knee. Left arm lifts. Stay for a breath. Place that left hand down, back heel down, side angle. Reaching that right arm overhead, spinning the ribs up. One more big breath here. Frame the front, pivot the back toes. We're straightening that leg and maybe the toes go up to the sky. Think about the heart moving past the toes. Ooh, breathe. Look forward, inhale. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift. Fold again. Chair pose. Stand on up mountain. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Down dog your way. So that might include Chaturanga up dog for you or any other variation. Right leg high, inhale. Foot steps forward. Right arm up, inhale. Side angle, exhale. Exalted warrior, inhale. Side angle, exhale. Exalted. Side angle. One more. Warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Triangle. So you might have a block for your hand so that maybe you feel stable enough to extend this left hand alongside the ear. Shoulder down. Try to get this kind of straight line. Five more breaths into the left ribs. Nice. And then let's frame that front foot best we can. Hop the back foot forward a smidgen. Pyramid legs. So we probably have 3 feet between our heels and we're a little bit wider. Left toes can face like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Lengthen the torso. Breathe in. And then lift your right arm up. Revolve triangle. Weight in the back heel. Booty up like cow. Draw the right hip back. Frame the front foot and turn your right toes out. Step forward, squat. Malasana. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Some of you might be playing with Kakasana, crow pose, if that's true for you. You might place your hands down. Remember, crow, you can always come to part of the pose, a little less scary. Maybe you have your feet perched on a block and you just set yourself up a little, leaning forward, lifting one toe away or both. Yeah. Wherever you are, a couple more breaths. And then we'll all fold forward for a pretty wide-legged forward fold. So you might turn your feet parallel. They might be right off your mat. Soften the knees for a moment and try to lift the sitting bones. Halfway lift from here. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Left leg high, inhale. Footsteps forward. Left arm lifts. Side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. One more. Come back, warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Triangle pose. Maybe you get this long edge where you're rooting through the back, pinky toe edge side of the foot. Right arm alongside the ear. One more big breath here. And we'll frame that front foot. Hop step the back foot up and out a little. Toes point probably around 1 o'clock. Maybe 2. Lengthen the spine, draw your left hip back, booty up. Left arm up, revolve triangle. Weight in the back heel. Place your hand down to frame the front foot, turn your left toes out to the left, step forward, squat malasana. Try to lift your inner arches here. Breathe. Now really root, see if you can take your hands away. Maybe arms up overhead. and rise up. And then step mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Weight goes into your left foot. Let's really feel the four corners of that foot as the right knee lifts. Right knee opens, tree pose. Right hand goes to right thigh. Lean to the right. You might take Jnana Mudra. Shoulder down. And then slowly come back, mountain pose. Notice what you feel from side to side. Start to balance weight forward, back, side to side on the right foot. Maybe you keep Jnana Mudra. Left knee lifts. Left knee opens for tree. Left hand rests on the thigh, right arm reaches over to the left. And slowly back to center. Mountain pose. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms open. Right arm under, right leg over, eagle. We're going to release our legs, keep the arms. Slowly step that right foot back. Warrior one with eagle arms. Square your hips forward. And then humble warrior with eagle arms. Trying to get inside that left knee with your left shoulder or ribs. Then the left knee over the ankle, draw the left hip back. Breathe. Release your hands, my friends. Pivot the back foot. Inch the foot back and place the right knee down. Hard flex the left foot at the ankle, let the left knee open. So here you might have chaturanga arms, and we're just doing, push-ups. Oh my goodness, that left hip. Hello, honey. How you doing today? And so you might notice, where can I go? And it feels useful. And maybe that directs where you bow your head. Maybe it's forearms, maybe it's not, maybe it's palms. I like bringing my weight back. So my hips aren't going forward. My right hip is right over my right knee. 5 breaths here. You might feel not just the left outer hip, but the whole groin, all of it. And then we'll come up and start to keep that leg that way. It might have to inch forward a tiny bit, but send the hips forward. So then it becomes more about the right hip flexor. And maybe you have a block for your forearm here. You can even place your left hand on your thigh if you like. Or some folks like to bend the right knee, reach back with the left hand and grab the foot. Another option. So I feel strong sensation here. And I notice what happens. I tighten my jaw, I tighten my shoulders. So try to relax if that's true for you. And just focus on breathing, slow and steady. It helps. And my dears, when we've had it, we'll come out and heel toe that left leg in, straighten the left leg. So again, with Ardha or half, Hanumanasana, we'll split. Or if a block is right there and it's your friend, you might come toward Hanumanasana, seeing how it would feel to walk your hands toward the left. And then back to center. Another 5 breaths or so. So I find that for me personally, I can get my legs to the floor in Hanumanasana, but it's more useful to put a block underneath my thigh right now for me because I can feel my nervous system settle. So it's not as much force and trying to get anywhere or striving, and more ability to settle. So that might not look like this for you. It might be Ardha Hanumanasana, but you're really getting the cues from your nervous system. What's your heart rate doing? What's your breath doing? And 5 more breaths where you can manage your heart rate and your breath. And then when you're ready, we'll gently draw that leg back. No real cute way to get out of this pose. I find I kind of go out and back. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog and pedal. Just notice how you feel side to side. When you're ready, walk or hop to your hands. Halfway lift on the inhale. Forward fold on the exhale. Rising all the way up on the inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, open your arms. Exhale, left arm under, left leg over, eagle. And we'll slowly keep the arms. Reach the left leg back. Warrior 1 legs. Hips shine forward. And then humble warrior with eagle arms. Right shoulder attempts to get inside that right knee, but then the right hip draws back. Breathe. Release our hands, pivot our back toes, inch the foot back, place the left knee to the earth. Hard flex the right foot at the ankle, let the knee open. See if you can bring your hips right above your knee at first. The hips go back. Might come to forearms. You might try it out by those kind of like push-ups. Ooh, where along the way do I feel it's useful? Where I'm in the territory of too much? And just notice. And then we'll send the hips forward. So we might have to inch the right foot up with it. We'll see. Where you might place your right hand on your right thigh, or bend the left knee, reach back with the right hand for the left foot. Notice what's happening with your jaw and your breathing. All right, my dears, we're going to come to half or Ardha Hanumanasana. Let's see how that feels. Does that feel like you can breathe and settle your nervous system? Notice if you do start to come forward into a version of Hanuman, we maintain that breath, that settled feeling. Can you walk both hands perhaps to the right? And then if we come back to center and we maintain a place where we can breathe and find some feeling of being grounded, relaxing the jaw, the shoulders. And if that's impossible, it might be time to back off the pose a little to find a deeper place in the breath. So my dears, coming out of the pose in a way that feels useful to you, we'll meet on hands and knees for a few breaths. Just kind of setting the spine. You might wiggle in a way or do a few circles through the torso if that feels useful to you. Next pose we're moving toward is pigeon. So why don't we try pigeon on our back today, just to be extra loving to our knees. So we'll come onto our backs. And there's many places we can take this. It can actually be a more true hip opener than pigeon the other way. So let's start with thread the needle. But we won't reach between our legs today. Instead, we'll place our right hand on the right knee and our left hand on the foot. And we're gonna think about this lower leg as a lever. We'll straighten the left leg on the earth. And then just draw the right knee in toward you and the foot away. And then the knee away, foot in. So we're moving it until we can kind of feel, what feels useful? What feels useful here? Is there a spot where, oh yeah, there's a good stretch for the hip? Maybe both hands interlace around this right knee. You draw it in toward your right ribs and chest. And then the foot can do whatever it wants, right? Just points where it naturally goes. And then working with the ankle, interlacing around the ankle, drawing the ankle toward your belly and the heel, and the right knee goes wherever it wants, whatever feels useful. So play with it. A few more rounds of breath, just moving your knee in a little or out a little. What's true for you? What feels useful for you? And then if you don't feel much of anything, we can take our ankle and heel in the crook of this left elbow and interlace our fingers. Our right arm is a pillow behind the head. That's usually a pretty good stretch for that right hip. See what works for your body. We're all different. 5 more breaths. What we're aiming for is to feel the right hip and not the knee. And then half happy baby with this right leg, half happy baby. So for me personally, I feel a lot of stretch in the left front of the hip. So I feel less in my right hip and more in the front of the left by straightening that left leg and flexing through the heel. Left arm can even go up overhead, but again, bodies are different. And so what do you feel? What feels useful to you here? Now, the right toes are turned out a little to the right. If yours aren't, try to turn them out just a smidge. And we'll straighten that right leg. Straight is a very fluid term for keeping this left hip on the earth. So likely there's no way your right toes are going to touch the floor, right? If that left hip is truly down. And then the straighter right leg is going to come all the way across the body, maybe to the floor. Revolve triangle on our back. You might be able to touch the foot with your left hand, right arm out in a T shape. Left leg like you're standing on it. That would be the standing leg in triangle. Or if you think about that balance pose, when we do this, we're standing on the left leg and reach the right leg up. It's much more available to most of us because we don't have to worry about the balance. Okay, let's bend that right knee and come back to center and a neutral pose. So just knees bent, feet wide, knees come toward one another. And take a few breaths. You could windshield wiper if that feels useful for your body. And then we'll play with pigeon on our back with this left leg. So let's start with thread the needle. But then we'll take our knee in our left hand and our foot in our right hand, and we'll straighten the right leg on the earth. And we'll just start to, what happens if I draw my knee in, foot away? Or how about knee away, foot in? And just play with it. See what feels useful to you. Might be really different on this side, and we honor what's here. And then if you wanted to interlace the fingers and lean back on your left arm, you could. With what feels useful. A couple more breaths. And then half happy baby on this left side. Or you might be straightening the right leg a little and flexing through the heel and feeling the front of the right hip maybe. And we'll straighten that left leg a little, but keep the right hip down. And that straightish left leg comes all the way across the body like revolved triangle, or the standing variation. And left arm out in a T. We'll slowly bend that left knee. Come back to center where both knees are bent. You might hug them in and do a few little knee circles one direction. You the other. And then our final pose today, either shoulder stand or my very favorite, blocks under the sacrum, feet up to the sky, or legs up the wall, which is a delightful variation for any of us that want to keep the neck with no pressure and to focus on a fullness of breath. That might be true for some folks in shoulder stand. And if that's true for you, then great. Check in with, are you feeling settled here? Do you have enough available breath here? What's true? And so eventually we'll make our way to our final rest pose. Shoulder stand folks might roll down through fish or swoop the Baddha Konasana. If your legs are up the wall, you might stay. If you're comfortable with your legs just up and supported by the block, you might stay. A few more breaths. And then we'll slowly make our way to whatever rest is going to look like for us today. Remember, knees can be bent. Shavasana could be on your back. It could be on your side, even your belly, whatever allows you to feel restful. Another moment of rest here. Could you relax even more through the face and the arms and the legs and the belly? So when you're ready, we'll make our way back to a seat in any way that feels, settling for you to get there. So we're here, Anjali Mudra at the heart. Bowing the head to the heart. Thank you for joining me today. And we share these practices of mudra and some mantra and pranayama, meditation, asana, kind of a full spectrum of practice. It really does help us to create just a little bit more awareness of peace and settling in our own nervous systems so we can be more settled and better advocates of peace in the world. In that spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irini, Shiakan, Jum. Pache, Pat. In the spirit of our collective healing and liberation, we say Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be. Kapu Aloha, in Lakach, Satnam, Namaste, Takuyasin, Black Lives Matter. Goodness, look at that hairdo. Oh my word.